feel very free. I have no 9 to 5. I can wake up anytime I want. I answer no one except God.
So you're living this lifestyle, showing that off, living your own life, doing whatever the hell you want to do. And crypto is a big part of that.
Absolutely, because of crypto, it gives me the financial freedom to be able to live whatever, anywhere I want.
And you're one of the few women in this industry that's making a big voice. How did this all happen? Because it's very unique.
I never came from a rich family background. I never had any backgrounds in finance, but I managed to learn over time in 2 years, and everything changed. And then the next thing I was balls deep into this.
When did you realize that, wait a second, I am a KOL. I'm inspiring people. I'm doing this. I'm making money. This is my career.
People started to value my opinions and my research and my sharing because I share all my crypto signals for free.
Why give away your analysis for free? This makes you very different.
The whole point of crypto and decentralization is really for the people. That's the ultimate principle.
One thing I found about the crypto community is they really get this concept that the government might not be doing everything in the interest of the people.
Because we don't agree with what they're doing. That's why we want to have our own money, our own freedom. This is what I'm after. Ultimately, hopefully to bring my family out or my friends and to spread this information to everyone. Knowing that your power is in you. You can change everything you want in a second, but it's your choice.
The world is changing. Inspiration is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs. Sharing our vulnerability. Overcoming our fears. Transforming ourselves so we can transform the world. How far can we go?
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is... This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Eunice Wong, the cryptocurrency trader, blockchain investor, key opinion leader, and passionate advocate for women in finance. You spent the early part of your career working in the corporate world before discovering cryptocurrency and DeFi during the 2020 pandemic. Since then, you've become one of the most popular and influential figures in the world of crypto trading, with nearly 1 million followers on social media. Your goal is to try to educate people with your technical analysis in crypto, as well as help as many women as possible to be more courageous, confident, and independent by entering the Web3 space. Eunice, welcome to London Real in Dubai.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to jump into who you are, because when people watch you on social media, you are this weirdly unique figure. You're like traveling the world in these exotic locations, wearing Louis Vuitton, and then your stories are this highly detailed technical analysis of crypto trades, right? You're out there also championing your independence, saying you love to be alone. And then I also see you sometimes being like super gregarious. And you're one of the few women in this industry that's making a big voice. How did this all happen? Because it's very unique.
I never expected myself to be in this position. I was never good at math. I was never good at finance, let alone being in front of computers or phones dealing with numbers. I remember when I was in high school, my math exam results was like 11 marks or 12 marks. So I was an art student. But all of this came about during COVID, when I had nothing to do. I was in a lockdown and I learned how to trade. I started with equities, and from equities I went to US stocks, and someone showed me about Bitcoin around $8,000. And that's how I went into the whole deep dive, started sharing on Twitter and started gaining some following. And then the next thing I was balls deep into this. I never think that I would be doing this, really.
Okay.
at all.
When did you realize that, wait a second, I am a KOL. I am actually doing this. I'm known now on social. I'm inspiring people. I'm doing this. I'm making money. This is my career. Like, when was that? In 21 did that happen? And how did that make you feel?
I would say probably around 21. You're correct. Like the last bull market. And I never thought I was going to be a KOL, whatever they call it, influencer. That was never my intention. I don't like to be in the spotlight. And
I find that hard to believe.
yes, I don't like it. But somehow it kind of geared me into that direction. I literally was looking for friends. And people started to value my opinions and my research and my sharing because I share all my crypto signals for free in a way that of finding people, and then at the same time also my way of giving back to people. Because I actually had DMs from women, particularly from different kind of regions, saying that thanking me for sharing these things because some of them come from abusive backgrounds or husbands that are very controlling, that they were not able to have their own money. So they open up a crypto account secretly and then follow my signals and make some money on the side. So that really touched me. And I just continue doing this.
You know, I'm good friends with Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's a legend. But his wife is Kim Kiyosaki, and she's a huge fan of trying to promote learning about money for women. And she always talks about how in many countries and many relationships, you know, the woman does a lot of the managing of the family, but knows the last thing about finances. And sometimes they get widowed and they literally don't even know what's going on.
Exactly.
And you must have been contacted by, I guess, women like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So usually a woman that maybe like single mom or even high school girls, but majority of them are boys as well from high school. They have this new thinking that I really like. They say maybe it's the influence of Andrew Tate. They said, I want to break out of the matrix. I want to make money by myself. I was like, that's cool. Maybe I can influence some of the younger generation. Because this is the industry that give people who may not have an educational background, who may not have any opportunities anywhere. You don't come from, really wealthy backgrounds as well. An opportunity to become the next thing. I never came from a rich family background. I never had any backgrounds in finance, but I managed to learn over time in 2 years, and everything changed.
Talk to me about crypto, because a lot of people look at crypto and they say, okay, where can I make money? And, what's the next hottest token? But like the subliminal message is unplugging from the matrix, right? You're no longer in this fiat currency system. You're no longer being controlled by the government. Talk about that message, because like you said, these younger kids can maybe learn about money, maybe get financial freedom. How important is that for you? And do people understand that with your message?
I think they do, because obviously my lifestyle and how I live my life, it's a reflection of the harvest of what I do.
Your freedom, because you're really free out there.
I feel very free, absolutely.
You
because
act free.
I have no 9 to 5. I can wake up anytime I want. No answering to anyone. I don't answer to banks.
What else do you don't answer to?
I answer to no one except God.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
No one.
And so you're living this lifestyle, showing that off, sometimes subliminally, but people see you and you're living your own life, doing whatever the hell you want to do. And crypto is a big part of that.
Absolutely. Because of crypto, it gives me the financial freedom to be able to live whatever, anywhere I want. So that is the message.
Why give away your analysis for free? This makes you very different, and probably why you grow your following so quickly. Because most people would say, okay, I got to charge a little. I got to have a premium version. I got to have this or that. But I was like looking through your stuff like a year or so ago, and I was like, she's really giving all this stuff away on her stories. Yeah. And I was like, where's the business model? But why make that choice? And what's that meant for your fan base and then like your trajectory?
The whole point of crypto and decentralization is really for the people, right? That's the ultimate principle. And to me, if you're charging money to help to get someone else to buy your signals, to help them have financial freedom, you're not really contributing to society. My way of doing it is to actually give back, because I learned this through getting free information. So why wouldn't I be recycling the same system to other people who also want to be better? right? Giving them an opportunity as well. So I think I live by the principle of being free, and being free is also to do good. And when you do good, it's amazing. God will bless you even more.
Right. When you put out good energy,
of course,
it comes back.
It comes back tenfold.
And you feel that.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it actually sounds a lot like my journey. You probably didn't feel that in your life before 21, where you had all this human energy coming back towards you. It must feel very good.
It does, because the blessings come in different ways. It may not manifest in a way as financial, but it can be different ways. It can be my health, can be for my family's safety. And I believe in that. Karma is real.
Talk to me about crypto, because we've had a crazy market. It's always going to be crazy. I worked in the traditional finance, Wall Street and City of London for 15 years. I've never seen an asset as volatile as crypto, and it'll make the most logical person. You could be Spock from Star Trek, but you're going to get emotional and you're going to make bad decisions because crypto is so volatile. I always call it the wake up in the morning in Vegas syndrome, because people think bad news will make you make bad decisions. But when you wake up in Vegas with a tattoo and you just got married through a drive-through the night before, that's I don't know if that's happened to you, but
I would try that.
You would try that. That's when, you can't handle good news. And so talk to me about, what is it like for new traders? What advice do you give them? What have the markets been like? And then what do you expect for 24 and 25?
Well, this is a really good time to actually start positioning yourself, because we all know the halving is happening in April. And usually when that happens for Bitcoin, the halving takes about 6 to 8 months before the crazy money starts coming in. And this is when you position yourself, not when Bitcoin's gone to 50,000, maybe the next few months, that's when you come in. No, this is the time. When it's quiet, you come in. And then 2025 is when you execute. And personally, I really believe that this could be one of the last opportunity for us, because CBDCs or the digital currencies are coming in, banks are coming back in, and centralized people trying to gain control over decentralization. So I really think that if you want to make crazy dumb money, this is the time.
Right. This will be the last stupid money 100x bull run that the average person is going to be able to participate in.
I would say so. That's just my prediction. And I think that I'm not disregarding. I'm not saying that, crypto is doomed. That's the end of it. No, it was always going to be there. But the crazy money is just going to be less and less and less.
Yeah, I agree. And we've got about 15, 16 months here of this bull market to get in and make sure you get out.
Yeah.
Like last time.
Do not hodl, guys. Right. Don't listen to people who tell you to hodl.
Let's talk about hodling. Hodl, H-O-D-L, which has a funny history, because on Wall Street, we used to say hold a stock when they didn't have the balls to say sell a stock, because they were the analysts of that company. That's a whole nother story. But then someone miswrote it and they said, oh, it doesn't stand for hold, it stands for hold on for dear life. And a lot of Bitcoiners say hodl, 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 hold it forever, and then you'll be okay. Eunice says don't do that.
No.
Why?
No. I'm an altcoin trader, number one. To me, everything is a scam until it's proven otherwise. And the people who tell the hodl are the people who want to use you as exit liquidity. So don't be fooled by that, unless you know how to read chart, like what I'm doing. Because people always lie, but the charts never lie. The CEO may tell you, oh, we got this news coming in, Google's coming in, Microsoft's partnering with us, yada, yada, blah, blah. But the chart doesn't look good. And it tells me everything that this person's lying. You never trust people. You trust the charts.
Okay, so don't hodl, because they want you to hodl so they can use you for liquidity if they want to dump positions.
Correct. Okay. If you want to be a doormat, go ahead.
What about Bitcoin? You saying not to hodl that? Some maxis out there looking for you if you say that.
Well, unpopular opinion, being in crypto, I don't trade and own any Bitcoin.
Interesting.
I know.
Why?
Maybe this is probably going to end really bad one day, that someone going to refer this video and take the snippets and laugh at me the rest of my life. Sure, you can do that.
Nobody watches these videos.
That's fine. That's fine, because I'm an altcoin trader, and I prefer altcoin because Bitcoin maybe can get up to 20 to 30%. Is really, really slow for me. Everything that I trade has to be more than 200%, 100 or 50. 50 is just the bare minimum.
50% gains you're looking for in a trade.
Absolutely.
which could take days or weeks.
It can be a few days. It can be 2 weeks.
Okay.
I can trade something that goes up to 1,600% in 2 weeks. So why would I want to trade Bitcoin, wait for a whole Bitcoin for 3 years just to get a 20% gain?
Right. You like volatile markets.
I like the pumps.
Okay. Yeah. And you know how to see them and ride them. And you're getting better at at getting profits as well, taking profits.
Always take profits. It never hurts. It will never ever hurt if you take profits.
One of my guests said, nobody ever went broke taking profits.
Absolutely. That's the line.
Right. But nobody wants to take profits because when you're up on a trade, you think it's going to the moon. You can smell the Bugatti leather and everyone wants to just let it ride. And those are the same people that watch it go back down in the toilet and it becomes a loss.
Spoiler alert. Those people that say to you because they hodl and then they get to buy this Lamborghini or Ferrari because they hodled, the truth is these people or influencers are getting paid by other projects. They don't trade. It's not that easy to trade, to make money. There are not many good traders out there. So these people to show this lifestyle, usually they're getting paid by other people. So don't be fooled by this.
Well said. Very well said. So I got to Wall Street in 93 and I sat next to some traders and some of them were veterans and they were these veteran traders. They had like, these scars on their faces, it looked like the bear in the woods you would find that's like 40 years old. And you're like, how did they survive? And they were old school. They usually had pages from Market Wizards, that old trading book on their, taped on their green screens, the trend is your friend and all that stuff. And like, it was fascinating being around them because they knew when to cut losses. They knew how to be as disciplined as possible. I also spent time in Chicago and I met a bunch of guys that worked in the pits in Chicago back when there were these big ass football players in there. And they would be, guys with no high school education, but they had made millions market making. And they used to be like, if I had an argument with my wife the night before, I don't come in to trade. If I'm feeling like garbage, I don't come in to trade because I'm going to make bad decisions.
I really love that.
Yeah, they were really, really smart and careful and they could monitor their own emotions and they had serious amounts of discipline. And even then, it was still very hard. It's hard to be a good trader. It's the opposite, I think, of being a human.
Actually, the thing is this. I find that female traders are actually better than male traders.
I think you're right.
Because we can regulate our emotions when it comes to money. Because men, grasp onto money really tightly more than us. We are more emotional for relationship-wise. So
we have a provider instinct. I think we do, though, because like at the end of the day, what are men useful for? You're supposed to go out in the jungle, beat some animal to death, and we come home and say, look, honey, look what I got, right? That's what we do.
Hooray, and our job is to go, wow.
Right, yeah, exactly, whether it's good looking or not. But like, it's silly how you could really reduce us men to that's really what we do, and we get a lot of joy from that, knowing that we're providing or we're useful. And so I'm guessing that makes us have a weird relationship with money because we're always thinking about getting something and presenting it. Is that why?
I would say so. And I want to go back to talking about the market and indications of when you should be getting in and getting out. So if, as a woman, my instinct is really strong when it comes to gut and picking the coins, and it's a feeling, because you can definitely learn trading and any skills really quickly, like in a few days or a couple of months, any strategies. But to execute, it will take time because you need to feel the market. And what are we trading? You're not trading numbers. What you are trading essentially is the market. But what is the market? The market is people. And what are people? We're emotional beings. And we are getting regulated by fear and greed. And I have this thing. So I actually track full moon with Bitcoin. And usually when the full moon happens, I get really emotional, even if I forget. So what I usually tell people to do is 2 to 3 days before the full moon comes, tighten all your stop losses, execute the trades that are actually not working for you, because usually that's when everything rugs. You get like a correction of some form. And it's really, really accurate. Because I've been tracking this for months now.
I know this probably sounds weird, but I know people do this. What does the full moon do to people? It makes them more emotional?
Well, for me, it is.
Okay.
Because, when the full moon happens, the tides get pulled, right? And we're made out of how much water in our body? we get pulled too. It just depends if you can feel it more or not. I can feel it.
But what you're saying is super accurate, because people look at a chart and they think it's like physics. It's not. It's the summation of human emotions.
Absolutely.
And most of those traders are very emotional, maybe too emotional. And so you're trying to gauge and feel what people are doing, because, as you know, the market's always right. Something that you learned early on Wall Street. And you're like, no, I'm right. No, I'm right. No, the market just took you to the cleaners and it's right. So you could have the greatest idea in the world. You could be sure. But if the market thinks the opposite, you'll get taken out.
It's not about what I think. It's about what the market thinks.
Right. Okay. So I think you're right about women as well. So men, we get very fixated on the money.
Yes.
And we don't actually feel the markets, and we actually can't recognize our own emotions sometimes. Mm-hmm. So we don't know when we're being extra fearful, extra greedy, and then sometimes we can make bad decisions.
Absolutely. Like I have a lot of guys who actually write to me and they ask me for advice. And the first thing I say to them is, you need to regulate your emotions. And if you want to be successful in trading, you need to be aware of how you feel. Maybe actually start practicing by being nice with your girlfriend or your wife. Try to read her feelings. If you can read her feelings, you will be better at trading. That's
deep
a good
stuff. Deep stuff, Uni. And so does that mean you have to be training and meditating? Does that mean you need to be sleeping right and eating right and staying away from like bad lifestyles? Is that all part of being a good trader?
100%. Your environment, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, the lifestyle choices. If you drink a lot, that's going to affect your mindset. That's why I used to drink socially, but now it's zero alcohol for me because I don't want to miss a trade, because I think drinking actually clouds out your decision making. And every day I'm making so many decisions, getting in or getting out, take profits or not take profits, out of like 50 trades. So I make a lot of decisions every day. So I have to be sharp and quick. And that actually changed me over time. So they usually say, as a woman, it's very hard for us to make decisions. That's true in the past, but nowadays I'm very quick and sharp. So that can bring, big changes, personal growth for you as well.
You said, I think once, that trading taught you to grow as a person, as a woman. I've even heard you say in a quote, you used to be a doormat, and by trading, you built your confidence. And I got to call BS on that, because I don't see you ever being doormat-ish, because you seem quite the opposite of that. But maybe I'm wrong. Is that true?
It was true. Absolutely true. I was nothing. I wasn't the person that I am today. Totally different person. I did a lot of work actually, because I wanted to be successful in life in my terms 3 years ago, and I wanted to prove a point. Coming from a high school when I used to be severely bullied, I always had a point to prove. But I feel like I've done that now. I've gone past that those sour, how do I say it? I've gone past that stage of needing to prove.
Okay.
Because in the end, it's yourself, not other people.
Let's talk about the early years. You were working at Uber, doing some serious technical work, working some crazy hours, right? And that was going to be your total outcome. You might still be there today.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't something that happened for you. Can you talk about that? And then the way you look at that event now?
Yes. I mean, I was the first to go into the office, the last to leave. And
why is that? Do you have a tiger mom? What is it? Or is it because you were bullied in high school? Is it a combination of all those things? Why?
I think it's a combination of all those things before I started working on myself.
Okay.
So
is it an Asian thing? I don't know.
Actually, no, it wasn't an Asian thing. I think it's just like a personality thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that came from childhood. But that's a story for another day. So back to Uber.
Is it? Maybe It's a story for today.
Maybe for later, yes.
Okay.
So Uber at the time when I was working there actually reminded me a lot about crypto right now. Now that crypto is not being regulated. At the time when I was working at the company, it was not regulated as well.
Cowboy time, right?
It was so much fun though. I had so much fun. I love volatility and a little bit of chaos, right?
Right. You guys were breaking rules all around the world, right?
Yes, absolutely fun. Using God's eye and watch people, like celebrities, where they're going. Get into their privacy, to assume what they were doing in someone else's house. Or anyway, that's a story for another day.
Yes, it is. So you were working extra hard at Uber.
Extra hard.
Advancing through the ranks, and you wanted to keep going.
I wanted to keep going, and I wanted to get to another position in my life. So at the time, Uber was in America, and they were getting a lot of money from investors to get into China, like millions of dollars. And they were trying to open up China, and I volunteered myself because I can speak Chinese. And I said, this is a no-brainer. Get me in. I would do that.
You were in Sydney at the time?
I was in Sydney,
Okay.
Australia at that time. But for some reason, my manager didn't fancy me. And he came in, blocked my way, and told HR that I wasn't ready. I remember I cried on the spot in front of everyone. I was like, I worked so hard. I did everything. Why? So before I got into approval, he just fired me. And I will never, ever forget what he said to me. He said, I heard that HR said that you were trying to get into a new position. I told him you're not ready. And that gave me so much anger, which fueled into motivation to prove this guy wrong. But it took me years. And now I look back, you know what? I will actually say thank you for doing that. Because if you'd never done that for me, I would have stayed in my job and be a wage shark forever.
Talk to me about anger.
Do you sense anger here?
No, but can it be used? Can it be a powerful emotion? Can it be a good emotion?
Yes.
If you use it?
Absolutely. So there's good anger, bad anger. So if you use anger in the right way, which means feeling yourself, changing yourself to become a better person using this, is good anger. Bad anger is when you're unleashing people and harming other people. That's bad anger.
Okay. Or focus on you being the victim, and then it just brings you lower.
Absolutely.
But there is good anger. And so anger is a sign. They say all anger comes from fear. Do you agree with that, Eunice?
It can be from fear and also sometimes overstepping your boundaries.
Okay.
I think so. So you feel that someone has overstepped your boundaries. It's okay to feel this way. I don't think it's fear. I think it's sometimes like insecurities and a bunch of mixed emotions.
I'm still trying to get my head around that. Mike Tyson said that it comes from fear. And he said when he was angry, he was in fear that he would be not what he wanted to be, or he was being bullied again, or he was nothing. And I keep trying to figure out the bridge between, because I get angry too sometimes. Sometimes I can't see the link to fear, but I think it's there. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you feared going back to the girl that was being bullied, or going back to being nothing, or not what you thought you would be. And maybe that made you angry, but I don't know. I'm still trying to get my head around it.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
It was a sense of rejection, I would say.
Okay.
So at the time, when I was in Uber, I haven't worked on myself. I haven't started the journey of healing. So at that time, it just brought me back to high school. It's like, why are these people rejecting me when I'm doing all the right things? Doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. I get it. So talk to me about the journey of healing, because you just said, and this is great for anybody listening, if you want to be a good trader, or actually just a good anything, you have to make good decisions. And that means you have to be super aware. What do they call it? IQ and EQ and all of these things. I mean, honestly, whether you're a mother at home or somebody in a job or somebody's an entrepreneur or a trader, you got to make good decisions always. So for you, you try to be in touch with your emotions, but also you've been working on yourself. What does that look like for you the last 5 years? I mean, the story of my life is working on myself. Still got a ways to go. But like, how did you know that, and what have you done?
It's so much. I would say that I did a lot of therapy using hypnosis, and that really helped me. And because I had all these different insecurities that I had since I was a kid, fear of rejection, fear of being let down, of all sorts. So I had to go back to where it actually started with my therapist, and through those therapies to replace how I want to feel.
Why hypnosis?
It worked for me.
Okay. Sometimes you have to get past the ego somehow to go deeper. Maybe hypnosis gets there.
I think so. Like, I personally think, to me, it's a shortcut. Instead of trying to work it out in your head, you know that this is the problem. I have trust issue, for example, and you speak to your therapist, and she will ask you how you want to feel. I say, I want to be more trustful, whatever it is, and we just go deep, replace that in your mind. Same goes to trading. I had the fear of losing. That was my thing. I didn't care about, money, but the losing was more like, I made a bad decision. So I had to replace that. And once I replaced that through hypnosis, my portfolio just went tenfold because that fear of emotion is gone.
Wow. And too much fear makes you a bad trader.
Of course. And greed.
Right.
It's just fear and greed.
It's all it is.
It's khalas. So simple.
Halas. It's true. That's what they teach on Wall Street. Fear and greed, those two human emotions. You have to control both. So you have gotten over your fear of loss?
I would say so. I really don't care. To me, it's just a number.
Right. Just a game.
I don't even look at my portfolio. I think to be a good trader is not to look at these things, because the more you look at it, the more you instill fear into yourself.
So you put your trades on, put your stop losses in, and then live your life.
Correct. Trust it. Trust the process.
Yeah.
And then if it goes against you, just let it be, because it's just a small loss.
So I have an academy and I teach my students about stop losses, and I try to explain to them, look, once you put the stop loss in, you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's not even on your brain. You could get hit by a bus. You could wake up in a hospital 3 months later, and the first thing you're not going to say is, where's Bitcoin? Because you're going to know that if it went down, you got stopped out, and if it went up, you took your profits. And that allows you to spend most of your mental bandwidth not staring at a goddamn screen, because that doesn't make you money. Use that to increase your influence, do your research, be a good parent, work on yourself. That's one of the beauties of a stop loss, is because you get your life back, right? But I think most traders, especially the way they kind of glorify Wall Street, I got 8 screens and I'm staring at blips all day long, right? That's a guy thing, right?
Oh my God. Like, I cannot stand this. Like, the whole point of being a trader is to acquire freedom, right? Why are we working so hard to make money for? You make money so that you can gain this lifestyle of things that you may enjoy in life. So you may say you don't have a 9 to 5, but you glue to your screen. Why? How is that freedom? You created this prison in your mind. I don't even have a laptop when I trade. I trade on my phone. I could be in Machu Picchu right now, trading Bitcoin.
I was just in Machu Picchu.
Exactly.
I didn't trade any Bitcoin.
You on a journey.
Exactly. All right. So you just keep it cool. You are rebranding the face of what a trader looks like.
Absolutely.
And yet
most free.
Okay. And yet most of them out there, they think a trader looks like X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. So the screens, the this, the lifestyle, the that. And that's just completely wrong.
I'm literally in the pool trading.
Okay.
I'm literally in the club trading.
Okay. When you want to.
When you want to.
And that's it.
Exactly.
Okay.
You answer to no one except yourself. That's the whole point.
Okay. That's strong. That's a big, that's a new thing, because most people think a crypto trader looks like X, you know? And I guess you know that you're laughing, because that's probably most of the crypto traders you meet. They're probably actually trying to be that person. You know, they probably found they could do it your way, but they're like, no, I got to be, you know, this type of person to be a real trader.
The thing is like, how I started with the phone was actually a funny story. I don't really lose money from trading, from losses like that. I actually lost from scams.
Okay.
I remember the first time I got hit, it was like 250K, got wiped out. And I was like, wow, how did that happen? Because I click on different links. So I was like, it's better for me not to touch my laptop.
You got phished.
I got phished.
Someone sent you a link, clicked on the wrong link, and they like drained your wallet.
Drained my wallet, and then it happened again. So I was like, how stupid was I? It happened three times, so more than $500,000 gone. And at the time, it was a lot of money for me.
And so what did that teach you?
Don't click on links. Don't touch the laptop. That's my way of cutting it out.
Okay, that works. I mean, look, this just happened to Mark Cuban. He got drained to like $6 million. And he didn't even know it until somebody was watching his wallet and told him. And he's like, yep. I think he clicked on a MetaMask link. Again, it can happen to anybody.
Absolutely.
You know, if you're busy and if you're stressed.
See, going back to being on point, if you drink, it clouds your judgment, and then you do dumb things.
Yeah. How do people react when you tell them you don't drink, you don't do drugs, you don't do all this stuff? Because you're pretty vocal about that. Mm-hmm. And I always thought it pretty interesting, because it's unlike most people out there and most people on social. What kind of feedback do you get?
Usually they're quite shocked, same as you. They didn't think that the way I am, the way I act or speaking would be someone like this. I guess because I really value what I do and I want to do it right. So I was weighing out the return on investment. This temporary fun really doesn't do it for me anymore. Don't get me wrong, I've done it in my early days. But nowadays I prefer to be more clean.
What about socially? Is it hard?
Easy.
Right? You're like, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. I think I'm crazier and I have more fun sober than I used to. I used to just be too more dulled. And then by 11, I was just not even there. So yeah, it's crazy. You talk about working on yourself. What other things have you done to go deep on yourself, you know, to find out more about you besides hypnosis?
Yeah, I've done past life regression. It's not a form of hypnosis, but it's different. I also done ayahuasca. I've done DMT. I've done all these different trips to wanting to see if there's actually God at that time. And sure enough, it took me there.
Really? Were you scared to do these things? No, because they're not there's nothing simple about doing these. They're not recreational drugs. They can make you very uncomfortable sometimes. It's not like having a drink or taking a pill, you know. So what happened on these things? What did you find? What did you learn?
Well, I realized that there is an afterlife. And I realized that anything that mattered to me or was a problem for me at the time, like, for example, you know, this guy did this, that guy did this, you know, those like petty things, they really don't matter. And the way it took me out and then realized to see that, you know, whatever problems that we have are actually not problems. So why fret for it? So I just want to focus on the things that will actually come into something, into my direction. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I guess you got lost there.
What about God?
Yes.
Did you find God on these psychedelic experiences? Did you find proof of God? Do you believe there's a God?
Yes, I believe there is a God. There's a source. And when I got to that space, it was very difficult, but it wasn't anything that we think God is. It's not a person. It's not a man. It was just a space of peace and ultimate peace and quiet, and also joy. I never felt so loved in my life. I was literally crying, bawling my eyes out. And that's when I understood that whatever we have right now is just temporal, so don't worry about it.
Interesting. God's a weird word. You know, I've spoken to a lot of people over the years, and they have something, whether you call it God, maybe it has a name, maybe it's just this ultimate human energy, maybe it's this force. I mean, in Star Wars, they call it the Force. You know, what is it? It's this thing we don't really understand. You know?
We don't, like, the way I see it is we got different religions, right? So let's just say I have a big diamond here right now. And it's so beautiful. The first thing you see in a diamond, you turn around and see, oh, it's glistening, what's the clarity and so forth. And for example, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, or any sort of religion, they are all looking around different, they're all different, but they're around the diamonds, but they're looking at the same thing. That's how I define what God is.
Okay. And people that are atheists, what do they see?
I don't know where they're looking at.
Were you atheist when you were younger?
I've been there one time.
Yeah, me too. But the longer I live, it's like there's something going on here. And to ignore it is just to be ridiculous.
Exactly.
To be too logical and too scientific. I've been there before. And then you have to admit that there's something else going on here. And we just don't understand it. It doesn't mean it's not there.
I mean, I had experiences where I cannot deny that there is a power force out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you religious?
I follow values and certain practices that suits my lifestyle. I've been near-death experiences. I've interacted with beings that are not meant to be here. So I cannot deny that there's something out there.
Okay. And what were you doing in past lives?
Oh, God.
Any historical figures?
Yes. When I went into past lives, I've seen 5 different lifetimes. And 4 out of 5, I was a man.
Wow.
Majority of my life, yeah.
Okay. Anybody I know?
No. Not one of those famous people, no.
Who's the guy with the Mongolians that just terrorized everybody all over Europe? And
Genghis Khan.
Yeah. I just got the vibe that maybe that was you.
Potentially, you never know. I haven't been there yet, so maybe I'll go check it out next time.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
But that's important, just because you're going deep, looking at what might influence you and just putting that to rest, and that keeps you really centered.
Yes, because the whole point of doing past life regressions, because I wanted to find answers. Like, what is it that I'm meant to do this time? So I don't miss out on the lessons. So then when I die, I have to go back up and go, oh, damn, I should have done that. I forgot. I'm sorry. And I have to come back here again.
Okay. Do you have more searching to do? Do you have the answers, or do you have to keep looking?
I think like 50-50.
Okay.
I kind of know, but I don't.
Okay.
So I kind of just follow the flow nowadays.
Okay. A couple days ago, you were in Davos at the World Economic Forum. You were there last year as well. And I remember I watched you and you were like The first thing you said on Instagram is that I'm not one of the bad people.
I had to.
Yeah, because like people are like, what are you doing there? They assume you're one of the bad people. You're like, I'm not one of the bad people. I'm just here to check it out. Why did you go last year and this year? And what did you learn while being there?
Last year was more like a fun trip. And I realized that it's one of the best places you can network with people if you want to network with people. And this year I went again, but without any intention. And this time I felt that there was a really big force. Everyone was sick around me. Everyone started vomiting. I got friends who were vomiting, and I had to leave. I usually just cut down my trip shorter and leave. And I did, because there was this thing that making me really sick in the inside. And I think really the lizard people situation, I think that's real.
All right, talk to me about the lizard people. Because one of my most famous guests, David Icke, is convinced of the lizard people. He's been talking about them for a long time. It's something that people give him a hard time for, although most of what he says is turning out to be true. Tell me about the lizard people, because I cannot confirm there are lizard people. I just know people that believe there are lizard people.
Well, like I said, right, you have to go verify yourself, and I was there to make my own research. So I was walking past, for example, some big CEOs and big figures, I'm not going to mention names, and I was just trying to look at their eyes, because I can tell my instinct is really strong if this person is good or not. But I swear to God, their eyes don't move. And when you look at their eyes, I was like, this person's not there. He's like a zombie. And so I can differentiate that, right? And I realized this is actually true. You know how they say, they sold their soul to the devil, and probably that's it.
And dark energy alongside of that, right?
Yeah, and I don't think these people are up for any good.
Do you think they were born that way, or they were converted along the way?
I think they're converted.
Okay. Do they even know they're converted? Do they even make a choice, or it just kind of happens?
I actually have no idea.
Okay. And you felt some dark energy there.
All I know is this dark energy, and these people, I don't want to be around them.
Are you going back next year?
No.
Okay.
Forget about changing the world. They're not doing that anyway. I'm not going to do that either.
What was it like on the ground? Because now they have all these reporters like Rebel Media and stuff, like hounding everybody, putting microphones in their place and trying to really doing some gotcha moments there. What's it like there? Is it chaotic? Is it...
Chaos.
Okay.
Absolute chaos. But it's really fun.
Until you start throwing up.
Yes.
Okay. Describe it. Are these CEOs getting... what do they call it? Doorstepping, where they have to answer these questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pharmaceutical companies or what?
Yeah, some of them walk past. For example, last year I saw Rebel News running after the CEO of Pfizer and questioning him about the vaccines. Did you not know that your vaccines didn't work? Can you answer these questions? And he was, that poor guy, not poor guy, I shouldn't be pitying him. He was just having the worst time of his life trying to run away from these reporters. And he just doesn't answer anything. And this year I also saw Rebel News. They were speaking with random people on the street and getting chased away as well. But I think a lot of people there don't like the truth. They cannot be revealed. But this is what we really need. And we need the truth.
What do you make of 2020 and pandemics and lockdowns and all of that stuff? What did you make of it when you were watching it, and now that you've kind of lived through it? What are your thoughts on it?
It was all a show. In my mind, it's all a show. And they were just trying to kill people. That's what I think. To reduce humanity, the numbers and so forth. And it all came from these people. So that's why I think self-sovereignty is very important. That's why I don't have money in the banks. Everything I spend is on crypto, is my wallet. I think everyone needs to start doing this, knowing that you have the power to do it. We don't have to follow them.
What does self-sovereignty mean to you? What are the aspects of it? It means you get to decide about your finances. You get to decide about what you put in your body, what you put in your mind.
Absolutely. Grow your own vegetables. I love that. I'm ready to do that. Grow my own vegetables, dig a well. I literally told my parents 3 months ago, I said, hey, let's go buy a land and dig our own well and have our own water.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy.
Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.